Hello, good evening all. I am Vishnuvardhan. Free prelims crash course, lecture number 14. Today we are going to discuss about the lecture number 14. Today very important topics, most expected prelims topics we are going to discuss. Those are, number one, the first topic is FDI policy in insurance sector. FDI policy in insurance sector. Earlier it was 49%. Now it is increased to 100%. The foreign direct investment in insurance sector has been increased up to 100%. The Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, the name also changed. Earlier it was Department of Promotion and Trade, now it is International Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Recently allowed 100% FDI in insurance intermediaries through the automatic route. That means directly they can invest into India. Insurance intermediaries are, who are the intermediaries? Insurance intermediaries, brokers, insurance agents who lies between insurance companies and the customers. So between the insurance company and the customer, the people who are there, intermediaries like insurance agents, like brokers. So on those people we can have 100% FDI. They include insurance brokers, reinsurance brokers, insurance consultants, corporate agents, third party administrators and survivors, and loss assessors. This step will bring in global practices in the country. So because of FDI, the global practices will enter into India with respect to intermediaries between the insurance company and the consumer or customer, which will include new insurance products and selling strategy. The FDI policy earlier allowed 49% foreign investment in the insurance sector, which includes insurance intermediaries. Now in insurance intermediaries, it is 100% FDI. Health insurance, life insurance, home insurance, auto insurance means vehicle insurance like car insurance, and rental insurance. These are the various insurances in which 100% FDI has been allowed in intermediaries like brokers, like agents in that particular sector. 100% FDI has been allowed in automatic route. So automatic route means easily, not by the government route, by the automatic route. Flame-throated bulbul. Flame-throated bulbul. Most expected question in environment. What is this flame-throated bulbul? This is the bird. The flame-throated bulbul, also called as rubigula, was chosen as a mascot for 36th National Games to be held in Goa. So this is the 36th National, for the 36th National Games, it is being chosen as the mascot. Which one? The flame-throated bulbul. Flame-throated bulbul was been chosen as the 36th National Games mascot. Flame-throated bulbul is a state bird of Goa. And endemic to southern peninsular India. It is present only in southern peninsular India and it is a state bird of Goa. Why Goa state bird was being selected as the mascot? Because the 36th National Games is going to conduct at Goa. The bird prefers habitats like rocky, scrub-covered hills, mostly in the eastern Ghats and central peninsular India and some places in the western Ghats. It is locally distributed in southern Andhra Pradesh, eastern Karnataka, Odisha, eastern Kerala and northern Tamil Nadu. So this particular bird, which is called as flame-throated bulbul, is going to become the mascot of 36th National Games, which is going to held in 2002 in the month of October at Goa, and this is the state bird of Goa. What is its IUCN status? International Union for Conservation of Nature. According to IUCN, what is its status? It is a Scheduled 4 bird. Scheduled 4 bird. According to Wildlife Protection Act 1972, its IUCN status is least concern. So it's okay, fine. It's not that much problematic. Least concern. So the status of this bulbul, flame-throated bulbul, is least concern according to IUCN status. And it is going to become the mascot for 36th National Games, which is going to held in Goa. So now variously we will be reading about this Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Wildlife Protection Act 1972. In that Wildlife Protection Act 1972, we will be hearing about Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3, Schedule 4, Schedule 5, Schedule 6. I think you are aware of this. So what is the Schedule 1? What is the Schedule 2? What is the Schedule 3, 4, 5, 6? I will be discussing now in a very simple language. Schedule 1 and Schedule 2, highly protected fauna, animals, wild animals, highly protected. Violation leads to serious punishment. Severe punishments will be given. Severe penalty will be given to those people who are violating this Schedule 1 and Schedule 2. That means if anyone goes for hunting or poaching of the animals which are present in the Schedule 1 list and Schedule 2 list, there will be severe punishment will be imposed on those criminals. Number 1. Whereas Schedule 3 and Schedule 4 are protected, but the severity of the punishment is not that much serious. Schedule 3 and Schedule 4. So Schedule 1, Schedule 2 very highly protected. Violation will lead to severe punishment. Schedule 3, Schedule 4 protected, but the punishment is there, but not that much serious as Schedule 1 and Schedule 2. For example, in Schedule 1, tiger is there, lion is there, snow leopard is there, rhinoceros is there. Schedule 2, elephants are present. In Schedule 3, Schedule 4, mongoose are present. Where they are being protected, but the severity of punishment is not that much. Whereas Schedule 5 is vermin. I think you are aware of vermin. Recently, why it is in the news? Vermin is in the news. The Goa had designated 3 animals: mice, rats, and the eagle also. Sorry, crow, common crow, mice and rats and common crow as vermin recommended for the government of India. The state government had recommended to the central government, please declare this as Schedule 5. Vermin means in order to protect the livelihood of the animals, the government will be giving permission to kill it. Those animals, when we get the permission to kill it from the government, those animals will be present in Schedule 5, which is called as vermin. Schedule 6. Specified plants are prohibited from cultivation and planting. So specified, some medicinal, like drug making. So those plants which are being prohibited, not allowed for cultivation and planting, those particular plants, flora, which are present in this are Schedule 6. In this way, Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3, Schedule 4, Schedule 5, Schedule 6. In this way, the categorization happened according to Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Schedule 1, Schedule 2, highly protected. Violation, severe punishment. Schedule 3, Schedule 4, protected, but violation not severe as if Schedule 1, Schedule 2. Schedule 5, vermin, where the government will give permission for exclusive sections of the people, whereby they can kill the animals for their livelihood. Schedule 5. Schedule 6, where cultivation and plantation of those plants are not allowed, like medicinal plants, drugs plants, narcotic plants, etc. So this is about the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 schedules. Next, national games. Yes, then what is the national games? We discussed now this throat bulbul is an animal, is a bird which has been declared as a mascot of 36 national games. The Indian Olympic Games was held as national games since 1940. The National Games of India is a premier multi-dimensional, multi-discipline sporting event held in the country. Multi-discipline, there will multiple sports will be there under national games. Once in every 2 years, but there are some conditions. Once in every 2 years, so every 2 years once, every 2 years once, every 2 years once. But if there is any Olympics in that particular year, there will not be any national games. So what are the games? Although the periodicity of national games is 2 years, it is not allowed to coincide with the year scheduled for the conduct of Olympic Games and Asian Games. If in that year, if there is Asian Games, in that year, if there is Olympic Games, then there will not be any national games. In prelims, we can expect in the form of statements. The duration and the regulations of the national games are entirely within the jurisdiction of the Indian Olympic Association. So it will be under the control of the Indian Olympic Association. And this Olympics, Goa 2020 national games we are going to have in Goa. The 2020 National Games of India, also known as Goa 2020, will be held between 20th October and 4th November 2020 in Goa, India. These games will be the 36th edition and will host 37 sporting disciplines. 36th edition and 37 sports events will be involved in these particular sports. Teams are expected from all 28 states and 8 union territories. Daman and Diu, Dadar, Nagar Haveli became one, and Jammu and Kashmir 1 union territory and Ladakh 1 union territory. So overall it is 28 states and 8 union territories. As well as team representing Indian Armed Forces. Extra one team will be from Indian Armed Forces. The new Union Territory of Ladakh is expected to make its national game debut at this game. So the Ladakh is going to make its debut. Under the terms of an agreement signed in January 2020, the Bodoland Territorial Region was given the right to participate in national level and national level sports events, and it is therefore possible that a team representing Bodoland may also participate in these games. So Bodoland Territorial Region might also participate in this game. So they gave the permission. Whether they are ready or not, we don't know. But as of now, there is 28 states and 8 union territories are ready with Ladakh. Bodoland Territorial Region has been given permission, but whether they are ready for contesting the sports, we need to know about it. But in this COVID times, whether the sports will conduct or not, there is a big question mark about it. But the Goa 2020 36th National Games is going to held at Goa. Thank you everyone. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.